Tonight we continue our week-long series, Waiting for Rebuild. This investigation has prompted action as the state confirms they've launched a fraud investigation. 10 Investigate spent months looking into a program that promised thousands of homeowners new homes or repairs after theirs were damaged by Hurricane Irma. In this statewide investigation with our partners from First Coast News in Jacksonville, the top leaders of the state agency in charge of Rebuild Florida are talking with 10 Investigate's Jennifer Titus. Why they say it's taken so long and cost so much in Chapter 3. Why the wait?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, Justin.
Nice to meet you. Both of you, right? Yep. Okay, we'll put both of you guys right here.
An introduction months in the making after 10 Investigate sent email after email to FloridaCommerce asking for answers to questions many are seeking.
Are they here for the trailer duty?
People like Mary Simpson, who's waited 4 years for a home.
They said it's going to be a couple of more hours and the trailer will be here. But okay, it's starting to get a little real now. Don't cry.
And Jane Moore, who spent 433 days in a hotel room to come back to a home far from complete.
And then we have the crack along this one too.
All recipients of Rebuild Florida, a program under FloridaCommerce, promising homes will be repaired or replaced. None thought it would take this long.
Projects that they thought would just take months took years. Some people, of course, are still waiting. Why?
Well, in some cases, the state of Florida didn't have enough funding for some of these individuals. The funding that Florida received from HUD for the Irma program was not enough.
The state received $480 million earmarked for less than 4,000 homeowners. But as our investigation uncovered, contracts that started out at one price tripled or even quadrupled. At first, the state told us this.
There's not an invoice that's paid that's not scrutinized carefully.
The contracts were supposed to be overseen by the state vendor, IEM, a disaster recovery business that won a $250 million contract to oversee the rebuild program. According to IEM's website, they have been helping states all across the country with disaster recovery.
There's spackle on the walls, there's cracked windows, but they get a letter from Rebuild saying that this project is complete, even though they've complained and complained that this project is not complete. Hearing stuff like that, would you say a project like that is complete?
So we have our team on the ground. They've been communicating and visiting with these homeowners. And if they find anything that needs to be addressed, we are going to address it. These folks are our priority and we're going to help them.
And I want to add too, if our contractor signed off on something as complete, and if it's not actually consistent with the work, in other words, if they're essentially lying and they're saying something is complete but it's not complete, that could be an actual case of fraud.
5 days after first sitting down with us, in a follow-up interview with our Jacksonville reporting partners, the Florida Commerce Secretary said they've formally requested an official fraud investigation.
It's clear that the contractors had not actually, the subcontractors I should say, had not actually completed the work. Whatever was required in the agreement with the homeowner, they had not completed the work, and yet IEM signed off in the inspection. They signed off as complete, and you know, credit to a number of these homeowners, they were able to literally show us that it was not complete.
So IEM could face fraud charges if the investigation finds fraud?
They could, yeah.
IEM declined an on-camera interview.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Irma,
Instead, the CEO sent us a taped statement that said in part,
we regret that a small percentage of residents are still waiting for their homes to be completed, and we understand their frustration. We won't be satisfied until we have resolved every possible unsettled problem.
It's the two cracked and this one that we've been waiting months now for.
But homeowners say complaints went unanswered for years.
They are pretty consistently telling us that they've left messages for IEM, not gotten phone calls back for some time.
After 10 Investigate sent a list of dozens of homeowners upset, the state responded, sending crews from Tallahassee across Florida to meet with rebuild recipients and see the failed repairs and rebuilds firsthand.
After we brought you guys these complaints and these findings from contracts, are there things that you guys are doing now differently?
We're on the ground. We're visiting with these homeowners, and we will ensure that if we find anything that we do not think is safe or decent, we will repair it.
Help some have been waiting for years. And we asked IEM about the state's investigation. They told us they've seen no evidence at all of fraud. They say they're familiar with the issue and they've refunded the money for the error until the matter is further reviewed by FloridaCommerce. IEM also says that more than 95% of homes are complete, with 184 homes remaining. The state says all the houses should be completed by the end of July. Of course, we'll let you know if that happens. Jennifer Titus, 10 Investigates.
And you can see the extended conversation with FloridaCommerce and see a full response from IEM, the state's vendor, online now at 10tampabay.com/rebuild.